Welcome back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your host, Rob, aka B-Ball Archives. And once again, I got the bums in the house. AJ, thanks for joining me today, but we have a special guest today. AJ, will you do the honors and introduce our special guest?
I absolutely would. And I am so excited for this one. So Rob, we have an absolute special guest joining us today. She's also our first female guest, and I can't think of a better woman to have at number one. She currently hosts a daily NBA talk show on FanDuel TV called Run It Back with Chandler Parsons, Lou Williams, Boogie Cousins. She's a podcaster, a dog lover. Most importantly, she's a Spurs fan, a Bernie alumni, and UTSA graduate, Michelle Beadle. Thank you so much for joining us. I am to the moon right now.
Of course. How am I the first woman? What's happening?
Honestly, a lot of our guests are just like dude stat loving podcasters who just are just nerd lovers. And honestly, we just don't meet a lot of women in the San Antonio Spurs space. So it's
we'll find them.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. I mean, obviously, where the Spurs are right now, we've won 15 of our last 16 games, and it seems that we are cruising right now. Not only is Victor playing well, but Steph Castle is playing extremely well in his second year. Rookie Dylan Harper looks fantastic. When you look at what the Spurs are doing right now, Michelle, what are you seeing out there?
I think the number one thing is, it's funny because it's a lot of cliches that I used to sort of maybe mock internally. You know, they get along, they're gelling as a team, they're buying in. And I always used to be like, ugh, whatever that means. And now I'm sitting here watching the actual manifestation of what all of those things are. I mean, they are like a genuine group of guys. It reminds me of OKC, a year and 2 years ago. Like it just sort of, you'd watch them and maybe if you hate them, it got on your nerves. But if you didn't hate the Thunder, you just loved basketball. You're like, oh, this is fun. Like this is a fun new way to be. And to watch it happen in San Antonio. And, you know, we're Spurs fans and we've had so much greatness, but that greatness did not look the same, right? Like it didn't feel the same. There's a lot of youth. I think that's first and foremost, and probably why we feel like it looks different and feels different. But they're kids and they're just all in. And it starts with the giant who is still a kid in my eyes, but does not appear as one. He's an old soul, man. Like that's an old soul in there. I don't care what his birth certificate says. Like he's just not wired like your normal 22-year-old. So yeah, it's a group who's having fun. And that's, by the way, that's the number one thing I keep hearing. Is people who used to blast the Spurs for being boring, that old argument. None of those people are saying that anymore. Not a single one. Like they're actually loving watching Spurs basketball. And I take such joy in that personally, as if I had something to do with it, you know. It's fun. It's a fun year.
It's absolutely a fun year. I'm so excited. And then last night too, like it was a great win, but then they gave Mason Plumlee the hammer to go bang the drum. And you're like, welcome to the team, buddy. And it's like everyone's just so happy to be around each other, and you just get that warm and happy feeling when you watch them, because you know that whenever someone gets married, they're all going to be invited to the wedding and they're all going to be groomsmen, and it's going to be a good time, and they're going to bring the drum. So I'm just happy that we included Mason Plumlee, who's brand new to the team. He got one rebound and we're like, dude, bang the drum for the fans.
Because we don't know if he'll get another shot. I mean, this is, you know, we don't know what the rest of this thing's going to look like. So I do love that they took advantage of the moment. You got in, you get the drum. The drum's awesome. Like, it's just, I'm so happy. You know, that trade deadline comes and goes every year. You're just, you know, you get attached to some of these guys, you know, better than anyone. And so you hear rumors and you start to go, no, I don't want that guy. I can't tell you how happy I am that Keldon Johnson did not get moved. Like I was dreading it. Every time his name got brought up, I was like, no. Not moving him. And it brings me joy because I see the drum, I see the vibes, I think KJ every time.
Oh yeah. Well, you think about like energy and what it means to be a Spur, and just that like, I'm going to put my shoulder down and go through you kind of basketball. And like, we don't have guys that play like that on our team really in the NBA anymore. Like there's so many guys who avoid the contact. They're doing a step back to get away from people. And just to have that kind of guy come off the bench who used to be a 22 point per game scorer for us and in the dark days, but now, he's adopted his new role, and yeah, he's a part of the excitement, and so many guys coming off the bench for us, whether it's Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant, who we are so excited about as well. There's
Having
just
himself a night.
oh yeah, a plethora of young talent in San Antonio to get just psyched about. Absolutely.
They're so young. Every time you mention another name, I'm like, yeah, he's a baby. He's a baby.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going to be and we're going to need those guys. We're going to need the physical dudes come playoffs, because it's going to get wily and it's going to get nuts, and they're going to attack Wemby, and we've seen them already start to try to figure some of that stuff out. So we're going to need somebody in there who's a fighter, a bit of a goon if we could get one.
He got palm striked yesterday in the face, and it's like, all right, we need someone to come in and just like, here's what I need, Michelle, is I need Mitch Johnson to get a technical foul early in the playoffs when they're beating up Wemby. He needs to get in the ref space and be like, no. We're not going to do this entire series. We're not going to do this entire playoffs. And he needs to set the tone as a coach and handle that with the refs and not let the players do it. Because if you let the players do it, you end up like Jaylen Brown and get ejected.
Damn, Jaylen Brown was not having it last night. It is funny. Look, I like Jaylen Brown a lot. Not when he's playing the Spurs, but every other game, yes. And you could see it, because he was, instead of relaxing, he was actually getting more amped up and more heated, and he was out of frame. He's back in frame. I'm like, oh, this isn't going to end well. But it cracked me up a little bit, because like, I get that he's had previous complaints about physicality, but dude, like the first minute of the game, Wemby gets whacked in the face, nothing happens. Like, it's on both ends, but I guess you don't really see it that way when you're on the receiving end of anything. So yeah, the Knicks kind of showed what it's going to take. He's going to go up against, in the Western Conference, I think Lou Dort is somebody that we've obviously started to have to keep an eye out on. So it's going to be interesting.
SAPD is going to keep an eye on him for sure.
Damn, dude, he's the Jokic Lou Dort thing it's fascinating to me. Like, I can't get enough.
I'm ready to see them at WrestleMania, personally.
I would if we get Jokic to hang around after the season, but I don't think that's going to happen. It never happens.
No, he's going to skirt off to his horses immediately.
He's out.
Absolutely. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting matchups for the Spurs and potentially in the postseason. And just kind of talking about the postseason a little bit, just a hypothetical little fill in the blank question. A blank postseason finish would be a disappointment for San Antonio.
Ooh, see, this is where my brain is like, I was joking about this morning, and I was like, there's like a 4% part of my brain that still is just like, this is way too ahead of schedule. Like, I get it. And Thunder still exists, so I'm going to be a realist about it. But honestly, if they lost in the Western Conference Finals to the Thunder, that's a hell of a season. Like, that's anything. But I put it this way: they lose to anybody else before that, I actually, given everything we know now and how we've watched them play and what we know they are capable of, it's hard for me to say this because I can't believe I'm saying it already, but it would feel like a bit of a letdown, like that we should have gotten to the Western Conference Finals, and it's okay to lose to the Thunder because everyone's supposed to lose to the Thunder as of now, but not for long.
They set the bar, and like now we know what the bar is. And you look around the West and you're like, well, the Rockets can't hang with us. The Timberwolves can't hang with us. The Nuggets might give us some trouble, but if they end up on the side of the Thunder, then we don't have to worry about that. And then you just kind of go down the list, and it's like, unless someone has an out-of-body experience that we're not expecting, then I think we should get to that point. But crazier things have happened. Zach Randolph happened to us one year, and no one was expecting that. He was.
You mean when we're the 1 seed and they're the 8?
Yeah, I mean, he was making those fade away. He was parallel to the ground and hitting him over Timmy. So it's like, all right, well, those kind of shots just don't happen overnight. But if something happens like that against this Spurs team, then okay, then so be it. But I agree. I think the Western Conference Finals should be the goal right now.
Would you have thought that though? Like in October, were you guys thinking that far ahead?
Nope.
Yeah,
No.
It's so easy.
No. It was like we were talking about, like, hey, if we get past the play-in and we make the playoffs outright, that would be great. Like, we're like a strong 6-7 seed.
Yeah.
Like that's about what we would do, because then we can make some noise if we match up with the Timberwolves or with the Rockets. I think that would be a favorable matchup for us. So it's like it would all come down to the matchup. But now it's like, it's a race between us and OKC. Everyone else is left in the dust. And, you know, we might end up playing, you know, the Suns and the Clippers in the first round. And I'm laughing at that prospect, even though the Suns got us a couple times this year.
I know it's true. There's even a part of me that's just like, I think the Lakers are a hot mess, but I also just feel like, God, wouldn't that hurt? What that would sting, I think, the most is if somehow the Lakers figured something out between now and when they would potentially face the Spurs. And that would bother me more than any other team in the Western Conference. But it is crazy how our expectations have changed since October. Because I'm with you. I was just like, you know what? Just and I said it at the end of last season. I was like, Mark to Chandler and Lou. I was like, mark my words, Spurs are in the playoffs next year. It's not even going to be close. And I felt like that's pretty risky, but I'm going to stick with it. Now here we are, like, if you don't get to the Western Conference Finals, it's a total failure. No, it's a beautiful thing to be able to change people's expectations. Like, not even, it was before midway through the season. Like, it's been an absolute joy to watch. So we'll see, but I like it. I like the high expect. It's been a while, guys, since we've gotten I've got my Spurs stuff out here. I'm going to have my brother ship the rest so I can be super obnoxious during the playoffs. Like, we
got to get you a car
it's
flag,
been a while.
Michelle.
Oh no, I have a license plate.
Oh, perfect.
I still have my Texas plates on out here too, so it's a double whammy.
I won't tell Gavin Houston. You're good.
I know. Don't tell him. It's cheaper taxes. Leave me alone.
Yeah, what's
crazy. I think is what the turning point was. The NBA Cup. I think that's when things started to turn, and because we beat the Thunder. Who else do we beat on the way to the finals? We beat someone else too. I think the Nuggets maybe. And then Christmas came along and we beat the Thunder then. And it's like, oh, right. Well, let's see where this thing goes. And then
the Thunder stuff's crazy.
Yeah. I'm to the moon about this whole thing. And I'm so excited because we're seeing Wemby just take over games now. And it's scary. What do you do when he's blocking your shot and then he's hitting step back 3-pointers? And then if you're the Celtics, you're like, wait, how many 3-pointers did he have against us last night? Like, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fun to watch the faces because they're so disheartened. You're right, because he could do everything. Like last night, he had a couple of those. Like Boston would hit their shots and be up a point or two, and then come right back down, and he would hit a 3. And I was like, that must be such a gut punch for the other team. There is absolutely nothing you can do. You just have to hope he misses. Right. Otherwise, game over.
Oh yeah, and especially he's already matched up with like a slow-footed big man like Luke Garza, and it's like it's just barbecue chicken all day long. And Wemby
that poor guy, he even put his head down after I think his 6th 3-pointer, and he just went.
Bless your heart, bless his heart, y'all. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's the story with pretty much everybody. You know, Wemby over the last 4 games. 33 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks, 71% true shooting. And it seems like he's ramping up his production at the right time. And it's leading to just really great team offense, really great team defense. And even the most potent, most physical teams in the NBA have a problem with us. And it's obvious. Yeah.
No, it's been interesting to also hear quotes. I think Jaylen Brown had a really flattering quote about when you're doing categories that all of that's just not with Wemby. Wemby's on his own, and Jokic joking about, I don't think he's joking. Actually, he's like, I'm going to retire before Wemby has a complete chokehold on this league. Like it is, you don't hear guys with egos sort of give flowers like that to a current competitor. Like it's fascinating to me to sort of watch. He seems very liked and respected. And, you know, the other night when he was getting emotional and you got guys like Pat Bev coming out and crying about it, I'm like, Pat, you're not liked like this. Like this is a different man. Like it's just not the same. And by the way, he knows this in his heart. He knows it's not the same. And so I watch Wemby every day. It's like watching a baby deer or something, where every day they learn a new skill. Like it's like the world's a brand new place. And we have watched him evolve so fast in his 3rd season only. And it is terrifying. Like, what does he look like 2, 3, 4 years down the road? Absolutely. Like, good luck, everybody.
And think about this. His first year, minutes restriction. His second year, he missed half the season. And so now we're seeing like a full healthy Wemby. And this is what it looks like. And it's like, well, no wonder why we kind of forgot and didn't really take them too seriously, because we just didn't see it. And then I think that gold medal game is really where he was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to lose. And I think another key to our success has been just winning. And now he has that taste in his mouth. And he's like, we're not going back to the losing. We're not going to be tanking. It's none of that. We are going to win and win big.
No, you can't. You've literally hit jackpots for 3 years in a row in the draft. Like it's unheard of. It's statistically, I don't know when that last happened for anybody. Yeah, there will be no tanking for quite some time. This is going to be a good run that we are spoiled as a fan base. Like I joke with people all the time. I'm like, ugh, it's been since like forever since we got our championship. And they're like, just stop talking. I'm like, oh, I know it's a joke, but also it feels like forever because we got so used to it for such a nice stretch there.
12 years.
It's coming back. Crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing what you get desensitized to, just over 20 years of playoff appearances and just the consistency that Coach Pop gave us and Tim Duncan and everything that, the big three provided. And it's amazing to think about that era, but this is, like we talked about earlier, like a more exciting brand of basketball that we can get behind that is equally as productive. Will they win when they get to the postseason? That's the main question mark, is just the lack of experience. But there's a lot to be excited about. And I honestly have no idea where we're going to finish, but it's exciting just speculating all of this wildly.
It's nice to be excited for, like, I even posted last night. I think I wrote start the playoffs. Like it's fun to be excited about that. Not from I have to work and then I get vacation after. No, it's like, I'm genuinely excited for the playoffs to start as a fan. And yeah, it is. None of us know this could go any which way. And so I knock on wood, everyone stay healthy, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to be a fun run.
Yeah. If something happens in the playoffs, it's because we shot like 25% from the field and we just didn't play well and we just beat ourselves. Like, I think that's literally the only thing that I can really find, that if we can just get a little more consistent shooting. I mean, if Steph Castle's not hitting threes or Dylan Harper's not hitting his threes, then as things start to get a little shaky, Champagne's throwing up goose eggs like he did last night, then we can start to kind of be like, well, Wemby can save us, but like, let's not have him carry that entire load all on his own. So hopefully we can kind of get it out. But I mean, one thing that we talked about last year, and I'm so glad that we're able to do this again, is just expectations. We finally have expectations. It took so long to just have expectations. And we started this podcast, Michelle, in 2022. I don't know why.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Why 2022? That's crazy.
And well, honestly, there really was no rhyme or reason as to why we started it. It was just kind of like, it was something kind of itching and burning. And it was like, we just got to get this off the ground. But now it's like, we started it, and now we have this opportunity to kind of like cover Wemby for his whole career and just kind of, hopefully watch every single one of his games and then kind of tell that story of him. And so it's really cool in that regard. But it's like, we remember the dark times where we didn't care, where it was, hey, let's throw Jeremy Sochan at point guard and see if it works,
man.
or absolutely.
Like,
so like
Zach Collins.
that was, I know. And I like both those guys, but yeah,
too.
it wasn't.
You have beef with Jeremy Sochan. God.
You do?
I do.
Why?
I think probably one of the reasons is just because I went to Texas Tech and he went to Baylor. I think that's kind of the foundation. But then I'm just like, he never did it for me. And I wasn't one of the guys. I was like, hey, let's get him in our, was it 9th pick or whatever it was? I wanted Jalen Duren. So that was just me being bitter.
I mean, in hindsight, that's not a bad pick either.
That's why I should be GM. I've been saying it for the longest time.
That would have been a pretty good pick. There's a stretch there where I thought Sochan was going to be like the goon that we were all sort of kind of referencing, was like the guy that was just, he kind of likes to be in people's faces. And I thought that would be sort of the role that he would embrace, but then he just didn't get any time. So that was kind of it. That experiment was over.
Huh. Sure was.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And he just kind of got put into those conversations where I didn't really feel like he deserved to be, where it was like, he was like, oh, he's going to be our Draymond, or he's going to be our Dennis Rodman. I'm like, wait, he's going to be a defensive player of the year and lead the league in rebounding? I was like, what?
Awesome.
I was like, I haven't seen evidence of any of that about to happen, but it's, it was nice to kind of try to develop him, but it's a shining example of not all things work out, and it's a business at the end of the day.
It's a business, and look, I'm sure he's loving living in New York. Like, there's zero bad things about that. So it's a good. He's where he's supposed to be. So I just keep saying that he's where he's supposed to be now.
It's what, like a 5-hour flight to London if he wants to go over on a weekend. So
exactly. It says big city as you're gonna get in these parts. So yeah, he's in a good spot.
Absolutely. But I feel like the young guy that kind of took his role, Carter Bryant. I'm so excited for what he's going to bring to our team. Michelle, what are you seeing from Carter Bryant out there?
I mean, he's such a wide-eyed, like, youngster. I will say this: during the dunk contest, I was getting mad. I was like, everyone stop making fun of everybody, especially because I was really talking about him. Because I get it. Dunk contest is what it is. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they won't. But God bless everyone who wants to try to give it a shot, because you're only going to get killed afterwards. I think there's an eagerness to him. He wasn't guaranteed this necessarily. So it's to all of a sudden find yourself in a position where you are being given huge opportunities, and you're showing them each and every time, like, yeah, keep giving me these opportunities. He's going to be vital. He is so bouncy, and you're right. Like, he's kind of one of those big body dudes that we need more of. Like, when you have a guy like Wemby, who's the opposite of a big body dude, it's just, we need as much of that sort of brute force, if you will, that we could possibly get. But I'm a huge fan of, you just don't know when you're going to get a shot.
Right.
And so you have to always be ready. And I know that's probably a stressful way to be, but if you're a competitor, you live for it. And he looks like he's had some moments where I was like, excuse me, Carter Bryant? Like, I did not know we were doing this. And it makes me happy. It makes me happy for him. I don't even know the kid. And I'm just like, oh, this is a good story to keep an eye on. I like this one.
I mean, just like our comeback win with the Clippers, he only had 5 points, but he was the reason why we got back into that game. And the fact that Luke Cornett looks a little slow-footed at this point, he's carrying that 5 spot a little bit in stretches, and then he's able to stretch the floor. I think that's the big thing. We just need to have someone that's confident enough to hit those corner threes or those wing threes or the top of the key threes, and that's what Carter Bryant does. And if you want, he can do a pump fake and take it to the hoop. So
he could also just stop the crowd real quick.
Yeah,
or pump him up. Yeah, he's got a lot going for him. And he's the baby thing. I won't get over it.
He has that facial feature of just like,
yes,
he still looks like a kid.
He's like a giant young boy. He's just like a little kid. And I love that.
He has one of those faces. He has one of those faces that, like, I think him at like 28, 29 is just still going to look like a baby.
Yeah.
Like,
he's going to be a baby face forever.
Yes.
De'Aaron Fox has a baby. Yeah, there are a couple like that have you just look youthful. I don't think you're ever gonna
Dylan Harper tries to cover it with his facial hair a little bit.
Yeah,
he definitely has that baby face.
How do we also get 2 rookies in a row that are both so stoic and like very cut from the Tim Duncan cloth of Harper will show emotion every once in a while if he thinks he's messed up. Like, you'll see him get on himself a little bit, but Castle is just another old soul. Like, I swear, I don't get it. How do we find these guys, or how do they find the Spurs? And maybe that's what's happening, but just absolute stoicism.
I can tell you that I think the UConn thing is just, was it Dan Hurley's coach out there?
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. It's very similar to Pop.
That's a good point. Although he might be nuts though, like legit nuts.
Yeah, we thought Pop was nuts, and now we've seen all these coaches like him and Joe Mazzulla, and you're like, dude, Pop's normal.
Yeah, no, Mazzulla is a special kind of crazy. I think his quotes are hilarious.
They're the best.
Like, he would be an interesting dude.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
All of it. Just we should be able to have fights and all the weird stuff that he says, and you're like, I like it. Fair enough.
As soon as I heard that he was playing war sounds in practice, I was like, you know what? That's a different kind of just training your guys to be resilient. Like,
what's he thinks happening out there? What is he doing?
I don't know, but you know what? Like, there's probably not a more prepared basketball team out there than the Celtics because of what he's doing. But we got to love what Mitch Johnson is doing over here in San Antonio, because he's creating a good culture, and it really seems very similar to what we saw in previous years, but almost like we're ramped up with like the friendship. Like we're back in the day, it was, maybe like Manu messing with Tim on the bench by like, like making him like sit on a Gatorade bottle or something like that, or, like something silly. But like, man, these guys are really, really gelling and enjoying their time on and off the court. So this kind of team chemistry makes me think that we can just bypass the whole, they're not experienced. And
Right. Now,
yeah,
I think so too, because we did this exact same thing to OKC before the championship. Everyone was like, "We're not," and I was one of them. I'm guilty of it. I'm not. I'm not ready. I'm not willing to give them the benefit of the doubt yet, just because I haven't seen it. They're young. They're doing these silly post game interviews all together. Like, there's no way. And then they do it. Now all of a sudden it changes. It's a complete 180 on how we look at Oklahoma City. It's not like they all got 7 years older. We just saw them do exactly what it is we've doubted. And I think that's exactly what the Spurs are up against, because I've heard so many people talk about it too, like experts and former players and what have you. There are no holes in this Spurs team. There are no giant deficits that are going to be scary come playoffs. It's the only thing, if you had to nitpick, is experience. And I feel like OKC did a little bit of a good job in sort of squashing that as an argument. Detroit gets it too, although they're on a weird
Yeah, they kind
moment,
of fluttered out, and I think people
I don't know what they're doing right now.
It's like, oh, let's just have Cade get what he wants and shut down everyone else. We'll do the Kobe method, and that's kind of what's happening.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's not gonna last forever. But it is. Yeah, you're right. I think they're different, and I think part of that is just being the San Antonio Spurs and having such a history and an organization that gets it. And like, Mitch has been interesting to me, because when he got the job, first of all, no, I didn't want to see Pop go, and I certainly didn't want to see him go under those. Yeah, not like that. Like, that's not how I had it envisioned. So it took a second, right? Like, okay, this is now your job. Like, let's do this. And it was immediate. Like, you just saw the guys were all in. And I think part of it is also, this is a different era in the world, like with social media and sort of they're being allowed to show their personalities more. And as you guys know, we never got to see any of that stuff back then. We never got to talk to any of the Spurs back then. Like, it was in-house, and it was insular, and it's just a different world. And I do like that.
If you got an interview with the Spurs, just like, you're going to have like Bertier for like 30 minutes. And you're like, seriously?
Like, what? That's not what we want. I mean, I remember like being at ESPN and being like, let's try to, and like, it was still difficult. And I'm like, guys, this is when you're supposed to give us some access. Like, I worked there. Can I at least get a little bit of something? No. No, it was tough. And so I'm embracing this as well. And part of it, I think, is new regime, but I also think it's just the times. Like, we are just in different times.
It is. And we just all kind of came together. They remind me of like a really tight pledge class that like, they're just all just together, and they're like, oh, this is awesome. This is so much fun. Yeah. And like, I just, for some reason, I don't think it's true. I'm just going to make this up. I feel like all these young guys are like, hey, Darren, can you buy us alcohol? Like, can you
imagine? Can you imagine? That's what I want to imagine. But then I think about it. I'm like, I don't even know if they care to like, no. Wemby can technically do that. I don't think he cares.
No, it's not like our time. Like that was a party. I can only imagine what the parties were like back then. But then you see like the generation now they're not drinking. They're not partying. They're not going out. They're playing with Legos and drinking tea.
Like, what? Yeah, like going to bed at a decent hour, like reading books. What is this? What even is this?
Well, I mean, there's some people like, James Harden that are kind of fighting against that. They're doing their own thing, Ja Morant up in the club and stuff like that. So like,
yeah, but look how that turned out.
That's what I'm saying. You can end up shooting yourself in the foot. No pun intended, but
yeah, no kidding. No, Wemby came in this way. He's like, I go to bed I turn my phone off at 9, and I'm like, what? Who are you? I think the thing that blew me away was the playing chess at Washington Square Park in the rain in New York. I was like, that can't be real. That's real. Oh, that happened.
Could you imagine if you were just one of those hustlers like on that day, and like this 7'5" guy comes and just like, yeah, you can play, and you're like,
yeah, just go.
Yeah,
I like
$20.
I walk by that park every day. I walk by those tables. I walk by every day when I was there, and like, it just cracked me up every time thinking about it. And it was such a crappy day that day, and he still went out there and did it. That's when I was like, this is not your normal, 21-year-old person. Not even close.
When do you think we're going to start seeing Wemby in more like movies and TV shows?
I know, a la Boban. Like, Boban did crush his John Wick scene. I'll go to my grave on that. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I I haven't been to France since we got him. And so I don't know. Is he in a bunch of commercials over there and we don't know about? Like, is he,
Is he like
I wonder
doing
if
some
he's
random like chocolatier thing?
sometimes, because I feel like some of the international players, they have like a complete different sort of agency that's dealing with their international stuff. But I don't know. My thing that I keep thinking about is like, when's he gonna, like, he may be dating someone now, we may never ever know, but what if, is he gonna date a famous person? Like, I start to think about like their personal lives. I'm like, are we gonna read about it? Like, how do we know? And so that's when I go down those rabbit holes. Who dates Wemby? Like, oh my goodness, I just start.
That's a great
going
question.
down.
That's a hell of a. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think he's like into like the dumb little starlet stuff.
Right.
I think I think he's gonna want a brainy, like, which is
I just hope that it's not going to be a situation where, you know, it was Tim Duncan where his wife took advantage of him financially and his organization and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, I hope our superstar doesn't fall down that path again. But at the same time, like, he's hyper intelligent. Like, he thinks about things so far in advance. So I feel like when he settles down and chooses a partner, I think he's going to be very intentional.
So excited about it. And he's got, like, you can go talk to Timmy about it. You can go, he's got good people around him, and he's got access to some of the best who are still literally in the building. And so, yeah, he's got, but then again, we all know how love is, but we just lose our minds. So that's why I'm hoping this first, whatever, by the way, we're saying all this. Meanwhile, he's had like the same girlfriend for 7 years that no one's even known about. Like, I wouldn't be surprised by that either. Like, nothing would surprise me at this point.
Yeah. Fantastic. Absolutely.
I have a feeling he would date someone that's the complete opposite of him, like not a sports person, just maybe a lawyer or something to that effect. Like,
yeah, not an influencer, not any of this crap. Like you're right. Like George Clooney waited, and then when he did settle down, it was with like a world-renowned lawyer. So yeah, something like that would be.
Oh yeah, basically do the opposite of what Zion Williamson's doing right now. Just do the opposite of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Like, learn from all of those who came before you.
Right.
Plenty to choose
and
from.
It's all on social media, so you can look it up.
It's all there. There are current ones doing it. There are past ones doing it. You've got lots to choose from. Plenty.
Absolutely. I do have just a couple of brief little San Antonio related questions. Can we hit you with them?
Of course, yeah.
All right. So, when you're in San Antonio, what's one of the go-to things you like doing?
Oh man, I like to go to, so my best friend still lives there. And we like to go to Eddie V's on a Thursday, not for like cool reasons. It's genuinely fascinating people watching. Just sit up at the bar. It's older dudes, younger women, you know, classic. But there's something about it.
Taking their kids out.
It is like the girls are sitting across. It's just fun to watch how the groups operate, and then sort of as the night progresses, like where people end up. I can't get enough of that. And I like their yellowtail with jalapeno. So I just sit there and have martinis and eat that and then call it a night. I know it's exciting, but that's what I love doing.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do.
That sounds like one of the more fun evenings that you could actually spend in San Antonio. There you go.
Highly recommend. Highly.
Michelle, can I ask you, I got another question for you. Did you ever go to Nueve?
I did. Well, wait, is that all of it? Are we counting everything? What am I thinking? Fiesta?
No, Nueve, like Nueve? Tony Parker's old club.
The club
in Leon Springs.
Off of 10. Yeah. No, it was basically there after I'd already left. And then did just like something shady stuff, right? His brother, like something bad happened there. And then is it a poker place now? It was really that short.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never even saw it then. Yeah. Holy hell, I didn't know it was that short. God, when you said that, I was like, is that something I don't know about Fiesta? Like,
damn it, Pierre.
How was it, by the way? Did you go?
I never got a chance to go. I was at España. That was my spot. España by UTSA. That's where I partied all the time. I actually got my shirt taken off there. Rob was there. But that's a different
take it off.
Yes, yeah, completely take it. Like, you get into some of the more interesting, like, head-to-head battles when we go out, and I mean, me being such a huge guy, I always have to step in and defend you. But you know what? You're one of my best friends, so I will defend you every single time, brother.
Can't be taking shirts off, people. That's just not how it works.
Okay, I'll tell you the story. We'll make it quick. we went to España. We might have been pre-gaming beforehand. So when we get there, we're having a great time already. And they played great music. It was one of those, like, it played early 2000s hip hop. Then they mixed in like reggaeton, then mixed in like some cool Selena stuff. So it was a great time. So we get in there and there's a circle. And when I see a circle of people dancing, I got to get in the middle. I have to get, I'm like playing double dutch. I'm like, here we go. And so I get in and this dude starts to try to like battle me. And I'm like, well, first of all,
like dance battle?
Yeah, dance battle. Wow. And I'm like, first of all, you're the away team. I'm the home team. This is my turf. Like, you're not going to do that. And so we start going back and forth. And as we're going, he's like grabbing my shirt. And I'm like, what is he? And I slap him away. He grabs my shirt again. And I'm like, hey, stop it. And then he does it. And so I'm like, you know what? This guy's going to get it. And so when he grabbed it again, I spun out of it. And when I spun out of it, I didn't have a shirt on. And that's when I was like, Michelle, I guarantee we were there maybe 5 minutes when this happened, by the way.
That's not even like 2 hours in?
No. We were there like 5 minutes. I grabbed my shirt from him. I'm like, I'll take that. And I go to the bouncer and I was like, hey man, I'm really sorry. He took my shirt off and he's like, AJ, I saw the whole thing. You're fine. And then
dance battle.
And then we went to the bar and took shots and had a great time.
That is aggressive. I thought for sure this was going to be a story about a girl. I did not see a dance battle in the middle of the club situation with a dude.
It was a good time.
No, I've seen AJ jump out of his shoes in a dance battle before. He can absolutely cut a rug.
I like a circle. Circles are good.
Many years ago, when we were still in high school at Bernie, 98.5 The Beat showed up, and there was like a dance battle between all the grades. Yeah. And I represented the sophomores, and I jumped out of my shoes and I won like a football signed by who is it? Like Julius Jones or not Julius Jones? Who's the running back for the
Julio Jones? Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. We never got to do that stuff in Bernie. That's such crap.
I don't know how we did it. I have no idea.
Yeah. Like a dance off, like that's not a thing we got to do.
Well, also 98.5 showed up, and I'm like, dude, why is Xavier the freaking Rican here?
Yeah, I don't think they knew we existed when I was in Bernie. It's a different world, guys. It's a different world now.
Absolutely. I love that you brought up that España story, and it made me think of something I actually saw on your Instagram recently, Michelle.
Yeah.
I saw you talk about a story where you were thrown out of a bar.
Yeah, Manhattan.
2013.
Yeah. I was living in New York full time. There are several. I think they're still there, Brother Jimmy's. But I went in, and my buddy and I were going to watch the Spurs game. It was the Ray Allen game. Ugh. But there was a couple. This is what bugged me. There was a couple sitting at the bar wearing Heat jerseys. But you know how that shot gets hit, and now all of a sudden the whole mood has changed. But I remember like wanting to quiz them. I was like, well, let's talk about the Heat. Who are some of your favorite players? And they only knew the ones that were on the television set like at that moment. And I was just like, no, you're not real fans. Like, oh yeah, we're fans. So then Ray Allen hits that shot, and they're just like kind of in my face. That turned into a lot of words. That's the thing is like, I'm not a fighter, like physically. I'm never gonna ever fight anyone. I will get my butt beat. Yeah, but my words are my weapons, so I will use those. And that basically the guys who run the bar, because that was like my sports place on my side of town, so it's not like I was brand new to them. But I remember my friend comes over and he's like, yeah, we should. I was like, what? They're fake fans. Like, this isn't even a real thing. And it turned into a thing. And I just like, yeah, you're right. We mutually all agreed it was best that I just leave. And I'll never forget it. It was legit pouring. I legit had my big fundamental Tim Duncan jersey on, an umbrella that didn't work. I'd forgotten that part. And then when my buddy texted me to remind me, I was like, oh yeah, no, I do remember that. And when we walked the 12 blocks home to my place, and I was just so depressed. That was such a depressing low. I mean, but we all know that it was followed by the greatest high in the following season. So, but you don't know that in the moment. No. You're just depressed. You're just sad. But if I'd have known what was coming, I probably would have been fine. I would have let those Miami people just cheer. Enjoy it now.
But hey, I'm glad that you called them out. Now they know better. Now they're like, hey, if we're gonna wear a jersey, we gotta look up the statistics for everybody, who's leading scorer.
Nothing. Ronnie Cycli, you can Alonzo. Like there are big names that have played for the Miami. They couldn't give me one, just the ones on the screen.
LeBron James. You're like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, that's 5 minutes old. Like no.
Oh my goodness.
God.
But you know what? That's a story that only a true Spurs fan could have. And I love to hear those. Like I was working in Houston recently and I walked
Oh,
past a Houston Rockets official bar and, just loading my gear into my car, I just had to pop my head in and just scream a "Go Spurs go" real quick and leave. And so,
just
you know,
asking for it. You're just
right,
asking for it.
sometimes it's like that. So I love to hear just stories about that, like in the
Oh,
wild, Spurs fans just,
yeah.
standing 10 toes down.
Because we do see each other in the wild. I do think that things are said. I mean, I have the license plate cover now, but on my one of my other cars I used to have, I had a pop cartoon sticker
Nice.
on the back. So like people, if you knew, you knew, and so it starts a whole conversation. So we do find each other no matter where we are in the world, and when we do, it's like immediate friends.
I do feel that Spurs fans are a little more knowledgeable than just your casual like Laker fans, Heat fans, Celtics fans, just because like everyone, like every San Antonio Spurs fan I know is essentially from San Antonio. I would say like 98%. So like they all had a growing up with the Spurs. They all named their kids after Spurs. So like they have like a lot of just love for them. And whenever you, like you said, run into them in the wild, they're like, hey, who's your favorite Spur? And they give you some like obscure person like Glenn Robinson. You're like, all right, cool, man. That's a good name. So
I know.
Let me ask you, Michelle, who's your ride or die Spur?
You know, it's funny because this was before I ever got to work with it. It's Sean Elliott. Like I joke now because I'm just like, oh God, I hate that I'm telling him this, but he legit was like, and part of it was on the court, and part of it was I was younger. It was like the Taco Cabana commercials were Taco Cabana. It was just ridiculous, and they aired every 2 seconds.
Yep.
You couldn't get away from Sean Elliott. He's just so beloved. But he was definitely like my favorite. That's what I grew up with. And then I remember I got to meet David Robinson. I was probably like 14, maybe 15. Yeah, I think it was 14-ish. And I took a picture with him. Like my parents took a picture of me with him, but it was a Polaroid. But because I was a dumb teenage girl and I was like, ugh, I look ugly, I Sharpied myself out of this Polaroid picture with David Robinson, which I would pay so much money to be able to have that photo now.
Oh, no.
I know. By the way, these are the things teenage girls have to go through. We are just horrible to ourselves. Don't do this, girls. But yeah, and there's things like that I think of. I'm like, oh, that was stupid. Because that picture now would be awesome to have.
Oh,
I'd be thrilled with it. Damn it.
We all have a fun David Robinson interaction story. Like I feel like all the fun stories are with David, and all like the, hey, like I saw him but I didn't say anything, or Tim.
Oh yeah.
And that's the way they want it, you guys. That's exactly how they both want that. Agreed.
Rob, I don't think I've ever asked you, who's your ride or die Spur?
I think in terms of context like that, it's got to be Avery Johnson.
That's a good one.
That's like I went to Avery Johnson basketball camp growing up. Like I went multiple times, and that was like one of the first times where I actually saw myself getting better. And like he actually gave me legitimate feedback, and to this day, I still remember at the end of camp when he had a group of guys at the camp, and they had played like little one-on-one. I hit this really nice floater right in his face, and he gave me and my family four Spurs tickets, and that was awesome. That was a core memory of my summer that year, and like a foundational piece of like me as a basketball player. And so I always think about that, and just like, dude, Avery Johnson, and just what he meant for our first championship too. It's like,
yeah. And he's a character. He was, I had to do, I did these appearances because I was like doing more and more on-air stuff. And so they would send me during like the off season, whatever. And I remember I had to do quite a few of those with Avery Johnson at like schools and whatnot. And it's just so funny to see him, because he's little, like it's just, that's not what people expect from an NBA player. And then his just the voice and the accent and the way he is with people, like it was fun to watch. I always say, hey y'all kids, no, because it's kids, like, all the way. It's so good. So good.
Oh yeah. And he ran such a great camp. Shout out to Home Court America as well.
Awesome.
Oh, I love Home Court America.
Yeah, I mean it shut down, and it's like a IT building now, and it's soul crushing, but yeah. Used to be the home of the Avery Johnson basketball camp. But AJ, who's your ride or die? We're bringing up some great names now.
Yeah, right?
That's easy. Jonathan Simmons. Jonathan Simmons is my ride or die. I love Jonathan Simmons. His story, one, is insane. Like, you spent $150 on yourself, and it paid off. You signed such a big contract with the Orlando Magic, and like just he's still hooping to this day. He's a part of the big three, and he's in that league, and he's still Jonathan Simmons. And the fact that like it's such a good story that when you bet on yourself, good things happen, and he's like the epitome of that. I love it. I love it.
Well, you hope, or you get Dennis Schroeder'd, and you're like, whoops.
Yeah, the whoops.
My bad. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Shouldn't have tested the market on that one.
Sometimes you just take it. You just take whatever money they're giving you and run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lesson learned.
I wish we could have re-signed Jonathan Simmons. Growing up, my guy was also Steven Jackson, because no one else. Steven Jackson didn't have a jersey in the NBA, the Spurs fan shop. So like the only time the actual Steven Jackson jersey, because it was before the internet, right? Like it was like 02, 03, somewhere around there. So you couldn't buy a custom one, or one that's somewhat affordable. So the only one that I have is a Steven Jackson 2003 NBA Finals jersey. It's that white one with the gold on the back. That's the only Steven Jackson jersey that I was able to buy, because the next year he left to Indiana, and some other things happening out there too.
And then other stuff went down. It is, by the way, it's so classic that it's Jax that doesn't have a Spurs jersey available. Of course it's him.
Yeah, he was the only one in the starting five that didn't have it. I'm like, what are we doing?
Actually, the one with the gold, that's kind of a cool one to have.
Oh yeah,
my favorite jersey. I can't wear it anymore.
Yeah,
way bigger now, but
that's that's a perfect segue into my next question. Michelle, what is your first Spurs jersey you owned?
It was David Robinson, 100%. Got it too. And I remember we buy them so gigantic. Like it's just a dress down. Like I'm actually staring right now from where I'm sitting. There's a Tim Duncan. It's like half Fiesta colors, half black and silver, that I have here. But yeah, definitely it was a David Robinson jersey, which is crazy. I think some of those are actually, I know they're all at my house in San Antonio still, because now there's like all of them. I'm trying to think who I didn't have after a while, because I was really big on the cards. That was like my big collected those starting in like 88. So that was where that was my memorabilia. What is this? Yeah, exactly. I have so many of those back home. Do you ever just kind of go like, what's this worth? Like is it worth anything? Are they worth anything?
ChatGPT, like you take a picture of the whole thing and you send it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, this one might be worth like $40, or this one might be worth something. But I mean, there's so many that I would have to like actually go to a card shop and get them graded and do that whole thing. Rob's our expert on this for sure.
I mean, they're all mint. They have not left their packaging and or sleeves since, 30 years. So they're in good shape. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of variations of a lot of different cards. Like I have maybe like 100 to 150 various Wemby rookie cards that I'm just going to sit on for 20 years, and I'm just going to let those just skyrocket in value. And so I'm very excited about that, but that's also just, a very common thing to collect. So that's really cool that you were into the cards as well. But I do have another question for you, kind of San Antonio related as well. Just very general. I just want to get this from you. What's your favorite breakfast spot food, or your breakfast taco spot, and what's your go-to order?
It's so funny because they just moved it. There's a lot that's on my way to my house. So I live kind of out towards like that Leon Springs area, and they have this lot where they do food trucks, but they change the food trucks all the time. So for the longest time, I don't even know what it was called. They had these amazing breakfast tacos. Which one?
The Point? That food truck area?
No, it's across the street from the Point.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so they're just kind of interchanging these. I don't know what they're actually trying to do with it, but as of now, I just feel like they changed. And they used to have great breakfast tacos, and so now that's gone. I go to Mary's, but I'm potato and egg. Like I used to do the others. I stopped eating pork because of Instagram. Like I don't know, 5 years ago now, maybe more. Otherwise, it used to be bacon also, but potato and egg, tons of green salsa. Like it's got to be fresh tortillas. People don't get that. Like out here, we do burritos. We don't do tacos, which I'm always like, which is fine, but tacos the perfect breakfast food because it's small enough that you can have like 3 or 4 of them and then change up the flavors. Whereas you're married to just the one giant burrito. But it's the tortilla, and nothing irks me more than when you're like, these fresh tortillas, and they come and you're like, that's not a fresh tortilla. You lied. You lied straight to my face. Yeah, we know what it tastes like. And by the way, not that hard to make. Just I get it. Not every restaurant's gonna, but don't lie to me, man.
Those Mary's
Don't lie to me.
tacos
I'll
are
know.
like burritos, though. Those things are huge.
Dude, my brother will always bring them back, and I'm just like, this is a ridiculously big, especially if you do potato, because it's just tons of
And
potato.
it's just like this big. I mean, it's a taco, but it looks like a burrito. That thing's, if you
Yeah,
eat a Bubba,
it's a
good
good
luck.
one.
Your day's gone. Like, you're just gonna sit on the couch all day and go to sleep.
No, because you know what I also like doing, and maybe it's gross, maybe it's not. I'll have one and a half, maybe two, and then I'll put them in the fridge, and then I'll eat them cold later. Like
There you
with
go.
if as long as I have
Let's
salsa,
go,
I'm
Michelle.
happy. Like
Let's go.
yeah, I love them. But I always wanted to open up a food truck when I lived in New York that did just breakfast tacos, because I was like, the overhead doesn't have to be crazy. Fresh salsa, fresh tortillas, and then some ingredients, and that's all we needed. But then I found out that the wait for permits for a taco truck in Manhattan were like 15, 20 years. I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Do you have, by any chance, do you also have a bum doodlers order, since we are the baseline?
Yes. That's so funny you mentioned that. Last time I was home, my brother also happened to be there, and I had not been in probably, how old am I? 50? I probably hadn't been in since high school. That's how long. So what is that? 30 something years. So what is it? The brainstorm? It's so good. And I always get at least one piece of pie, if not more. I'd forgotten. Oh, and the broccoli cheese soup.
Yeah.
Also good.
Yes.
I'm glad you asked me this now because it's fresh.
The potato soup.
Oh
my God.
Yeah. It's that sandwich. I'm so pleasantly and happy that it's still there. Maggie's is still there too, by the way, across the street from there, where we also
It's not Maggie's. It's not Maggie's. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for saying that. That makes me so happy.
Stupid white people, stop ruining everything. And they also had good green salsa, and I remember that as a high schooler. But yeah, the fact that it's still there in this day and age in a restaurant world, that's brilliant. And I'm glad you asked me that. I just had that sandwich a few months ago for the first time in 30 years. It was so good.
Yeah, Brainstorm is excellent. Oh, dude, yeah, Bum Doodlers is fantastic. But dude, I also like the Old Smoky as well. I will, switch it up, get Old Smoky every now and then. But yeah, Brainstorm is the go-to for sure.
I think if I was there more and I actually got that, I would probably change it up. But because it was as if no time had passed, to order that sandwich when you're 49 and the last time you had it was when you were 18, and it's the same. That's kind of a cool moment. That does not happen very often. So yeah, I had to stick with what I knew.
Like Bernie, that's growing like a weed.
Yeah.
I mean, that place, it looks so different. And we graduated in 2008, and it's changed so much. And what's crazy is that the year that we graduated, the next year is when everyone moved to Champion, and they shut down Bernie for a year. So our senior year was kind of overlooked because they were trying to figure out the name of the school. They were trying to do all this other things. And
I didn't know that.
The 09 class, they're like, well, we're Greyhounds. Can we graduate Greyhounds? And they're like, no, you're Champion now. And they're like, but 3 years.
Wait.
Okay, fine, whatever. So it turned into a mess. And then they started building developments. So it's not the same sleepy town anymore. They got bars.
No, it's not.
They got bars.
No, I know. They got bars. I remember I was looking at houses, and I love looking at real estate wherever I'm thinking about moving or even not. It's just fun to look at. And I remember there was a house in Bernie proper for $1 million. And I was like, in my life, if you would have told me in 1994, there'd be a house right here I would have laughed in your face. It has come a long way.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Speaking of coming a long way, Michelle, I do have a question for you. I'm going to throw it back.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it back.
Oh, dear.
You hosted a show called Get Packing.
Oh, yeah.
On the Travel Channel, which is essentially the G version of Room Raiders, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
So do you have any fun or unique stories that you can share? Because it seemed like a very odd show, I guess.
It was super odd. Well, it wasn't a Travel Channel show like what we're used to.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
It was just, it was so for the people that don't know, it was basically Room Raiders. So you have two people going into someone's house, basically going through all their stuff. And then the person who's getting their house raided, they're going to pick based on $1,000 shopping spree that you were given. And they go to the mall. If I was,
and you get a coach, we give you a weird coach.
That's tell us what it is. How big's the bra? And you're like, what? Okay. And And so, yeah, it's just a bizarre setup. And then the person who's getting like their room rated, they get to pick that person and then go on a trip with them.
Which is
Michelle, did they just book one room for their first date, or were they
no? I don't think so.
Rooms? Like, I have to know this.
Actually, that's a good question. It was, first of all, I would never let strangers go through my stuff. Like anytime every single day that we would set up to shoot, I just was like, and I was the host. I had the easiest job because everyone else had to go run off and do stuff all day, and I would just hang out and wait. And then we lived in Miami, and it was easy.
Right.
But I remember thinking, you're insane to do this, to have people go through your stuff. They had to have, I feel like, with liability issues. I would think about that too with like Love is Blind. Like, you're just sending these strangers off to sort of beat. I don't know how that works legally. But that was a weird job.
Trips were great. I mean, like the one that I watched recently was like, oh, the Dominican Republic. That's awesome. But I'm not going to the Dominican Republic with a stranger and having them sleep next to me. That's not going to happen.
I don't even talk to strangers. Like, what are we doing? Like, now you want me to get on an airplane, go to a place, and no, but then again, it's a good thing we're all wired a little bit differently, because some of the shows I watch are people that would do that, and thank goodness, because I couldn't. I don't know what they were thinking. But living in Miami for a year was also interesting. I feel like I kind of got that out of my system. Like, all right, I've lived in Miami. I'm good. I don't need to do that again. But yeah, that was a weird job. And it also wasn't, at the time, the Travel Channel was legitimately like travel shows.
Right.
Like Samantha Brown was a big star back then because she had like 97 travel shows. And then here comes this weird dating show. And the only loophole that we could fall into the travel aspect was, well, we're sending them on a trip. There's the travel. So it was just like, but you know what? I was just starting out. It was one of those jobs where like, hell yeah, I'll do this job.
Right.
This sounds
You're going to pay me to live in Miami? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do this. And then it turned into other little things with like the Travel Channel, like the Discovery Family. And so, yeah, I don't know if I would have ever gotten to host things like the Amish reunion shows if I had taken that Travel Channel show. Who knows? I might have been overlooked. So I'm glad I did it.
Honestly, that show sounds like something I would work on. Like I work as a camera operator, and so like that like reminds me of like a reality show that I would get hired for and be like, all right, I'm gonna go shoot this thing for a few weeks, and then
you'd love it. You'd love it. The crew was some of my favorite crew dudes ever. They were all like these crazy South Florida, like leather faced. They all did like The Amazing Race. They did shows like that. One guy came from Cops, and I was like, oh, you're insane. He's an insane person. So yeah, it was and then we all come to this, and we're like,
great.
It was so good. Like, it was like so much good drama, but like other people's drama, and we got to just sort of laugh. It was fun. I loved it.
I love it.
Where are those guys? Yeah.
I do have another question for you.
Yeah.
Out of your co-hosts on Run It Back, Boogie, Chandler, Lou Will, who do you like chopping it up with the most?
Well, Chandler and I have been it's the 4th season of the show, and Chandler and I are like from the original shot that we took. And then Lou's been with us for 3, and then Boogie's, this is his first one. He's actually in Mongolia right now, playing in a playoff. I know that he's like their ringer. Like, he didn't play the whole season, and they just bring him in for the playoffs, and they won today. So I think they're advancing, which kills me. I'm like, Mongolia. We had him on last week, or actually earlier this week. I'm like, live from Mongolia. It's so hard to say that. I love it. But it's weird because they all have like a different thing that I love about them. Chandler, I've just known the longest, and we joke about it all the time. But when Chandler was a player, he was a bit of a man hua. And by the way, none of this is a secret. You can literally Google his name on the internet and see the 9,000 famous women that he went out with. But he slid into my DMs, and I've never stopped giving him a hard time about it to this day. And then he was on Sports Nation with us a couple times, and he looks like a baby, and I was definitely younger. Lou is so cool. Like, I just don't know cool people like Lou Will. And I walked into the room with the same knowledge that we all have about Lou Will. This is the guy that famously had 2 girlfriends, not dramatically, just this was his life. And we all were like, okay, awesome. So I love Lou, and he's a great dad, and it's just everything about him. And Boogie, I've learned to love very quickly. What I learned about Boogie, we hate the same way. So if I tell him that someone is an a-hole, he immediately hates them, which is how I am when people I like tell me that someone, so I'm like, we are like this. Like I've gone on rants in the morning meeting about various things or people or what have you. And he just sits there and laughs. And he's like, well, now that person's not my friend. And I'm like, he says it much more, a little bit more colorfully than I did. But yeah, Boogie's, he's kind of like a teddy bear. Like I know the rep he had, and I know there are people out there that can't stand him, but I love the dude. I think he's cool. I'm good with him. Never had an issue. I know Sean Elliott does, but we're gonna fix that. We're gonna get him in a ring.
Yeah. Well, that's
my goal.
that is some old skeletons in the closet. That's
Old.
for sure.
I walked in the next day because I remember my buddy was like, yeah, he and Sean. I go, what did you do to Sean Elliott? And he was like, well, no. I go, did you threaten to kill him? Because that's what I was told. So he's like, well, I probably said something about like, let's meet up after the game. I was like, Boogie, you can't be doing that. You just can't. So God only knows what he's saying to people in Mongolia right now. Like, I don't even want to know. Dear God.
Definitely not the culture you want to mess with. They're not known for backing down.
Oh no, it cracks me up. I'm like, I can't. I don't. Yeah, when they said that Boogie's leaving for Mongolia in a couple days, I was like, I don't know what to do with any of that. That's awesome.
That's crazy. That's
yeah.
What
right?
What a life these NBA players have, and the fact that you're
nuts.
around them, just like able to talk to them and kind of pick their brain. I mean, yeah.
I
When you
love
said
it.
Lou Williams the coolest guy, I'm like, yeah, of course. He has a wing named after him at a strip club. Of course he is.
He also has that. Yeah, no, there have been some great players. I've been lucky because I don't know that every former player is like fun to work with or interesting or what have you, but I really do feel like through the different jobs, like I'm sure there's one or two where I'm like, I could do without that ever again. But for the most part, pretty damn good. Been a good group. I mean, Paul Pierce might be a psychopath to the rest of the world, but I loved where he was like having a brother on set with me. Like it was legit dysfunctional and I loved it so much. So it's like perfect. He's still crazy, by the way. I saw a quote today from him that was like, the best way to see if a woman loves you is to cheat on her. I was like, Paul, shut the hell up. Just stop talking.
That should have remained an intrusive thought and not a tweet.
Oh, it kills me. It kills me. But yeah,
I need
him.
Paul Pierce and with Michael Porter Jr. to have a podcast together.
Dude, Michael Porter Jr. is out there, eh? Like he is. That's going to get more and more weird as time goes on.
And it's like, hey man, you should probably not get on a camera anytime soon. It's a good idea.
Some of these things are not good that you're saying, but hey, do you? It's good for us.
Yeah.
It's content.
Yep. Have fun shooting your 30 shots a game in Brooklyn.
Oh, I know. I thought for sure he was getting moved. That was a little bit insane. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
Is there someone or something you haven't done in your career that you want to do still?
No, I mean, I think there used to be everyone wanted to do a late night show and everybody wanted to sort of work on something like that. That's more of like a fun everything topics. But to be honest with you, I'm on the back end of all of this. Like I don't feel this need to go out and try to get every job or any job, to be quite honest with you. I like what's happening in life now and I get to have an actual life, and the rat race was fun and I lived for it when I was in it. But I think leaving ESPN was probably one of the best things that I've ever done for like me, because it just sort of and then COVID hit and it was just like, oh, I just went 2 years without doing anything. That's weird. But it was good. It was sort of like, okay, we'll come back, we'll do only things that are fun, make sure the bills are paid, and then we're good to go. So yeah, there's nothing left. I just want to win the damn lottery and open up a dog shelter and travel the world. Like, why is this so difficult for everybody?
That's a great question. Is there any place you haven't gone yet that you want to go?
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, I did Croatia last summer, which shot up the charts of my favorite places I've been. Like I want to go back this summer, but I also want to keep it moving. So I'm just like, I want to do maybe this summer. My problem is like weather and stuff, but Japan and Korea are like I haven't done it. I did Singapore, but I did it as like an F1 race job. And I turned it into like a week while I was there. And my best friend came with me. I was like, if I'm going to fly this far, I'm going to stay a few extra days and like actually see things. Yeah. That's a long flight. But yeah, a lot of Asia I haven't seen. I feel like all the Maldives and places like that they're more romantic. I don't really care about all that, but yeah, there's stuff left. You got to do it now. I still haven't gone on a safari. I'd like to do that at some point.
That would be
That's
fun.
a big one. Yeah, it's a big one too. That's why I gotta win the lottery.
One day, I think you can. If you put your mind to it.
I try every game. I literally play every single week. So I'm due.
I live in Fort Worth, and I got WinStar
Yeah.
like an hour and 20 minutes away, like door to door. So I might end up going this weekend because you inspired me to know that I'm going to go win a jackpot in order to help Michelle travel the world.
Yes.
Specifically do a safari with her, because now I want to go see lions.
Thank you. I definitely want to do the safari because I don't know how much longer we're going to keep these animals around at this rate. Like, let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely. I've heard a lot of worse ways to spend a fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it's we don't want to keep you all day long. I mean, it's been over an hour, and we've been
look at us.
We've been chopping it up, talking about, Spurs expectations and where we are this season, and a lot of other fun Spurs topics as well. But it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show today, and you are absolutely welcome back anytime. You are an honorary baseline bum.
Are we looking at like a June show? Let's look at a June show.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what we're shooting for, guys.
Yes, we're gonna have some finals preview episodes. Yeah. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Yes.
Yep. Okay, I like this plan.
But you know what? we got to get to dunks.
Does this have to be basketball related?
No. Dunk on. We had one of our bums dunk on Crumble Cookie one time for selling brownies. You can dunk on.
I didn't know they sold brownies. You know what? Okay. Good. Mine's a little. It's morbid, but it's not morbid. It's actually practical, and it's good. Do I go first?
Sure, please.
Okay. All right. This is very timely because it happened this morning at 3:30. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar or use the Citizen app, but it's basically a user-driven app that sort of alerts you to crime in the area, like all kinds of fun things like that, right? Which you can go down a very, very steep rabbit hole if you're too into it. But I also think it keeps you alert. Like if you hear sirens and you look on the app, you're like, cool, that's what's happening. 3:30 this morning, helicopters, out of nowhere, sirens, lights, everything. I'm like, okay, it woke me up out of a dead sleep. So I immediately go to the Citizen app. Turns out I live on the marina here. So there are all these boats out there. It turns out a man with a rifle threatening to shoot a woman on a boat. This is not the part that I'm trying to change. Obviously, we don't want that. However, I spent an hour on Citizen app watching the videos, fell asleep again, woke up this morning, zero follow-up. Zero. Nowhere to look it up. Nowhere to find out what happened to the man, the woman, the boat, anything. Like, to me, it's just a very unsatisfying way to have an app end a journey. And so that is my dunk. Fix it, Citizen app. Put an ending on it. Even if it's a bad ending, we need to know. It's also a brilliant idea if anybody wants to steal it and go make $1 gazillion.
1,000%. Wow, that's what a wild way to wake up and just that's
threw me off because I kept going like, well, I don't hear guns. Like I don't hear, no, nothing. My dog who's 100 slept right through it. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, no, but I woke up this morning very eager to find out if there was a good ending. I got nothing.
That's crazy.
Nothing.
Not even like we're all good over here.
Nothing. Like, he surrendered. He would nothing. You can't do that to us. You can't do that.
Crazy place you live, Michelle.
I know.
Come back.
I know. And by the way, this is like the good part. I used to live down in the valley, and it was a little bit more like there'd be some wonky stuff going on there too. But you know what? When you pile a bunch of people on top of each other, some of us are going to go nuts.
That's a good point.
So there it is. What
enough.
do you guys have?
I have a film coming up this weekend, and I just rented a pair of lenses that just came in today, and it is the wrong set of lenses. So I'm going to be dunking on lensrental.com. I use lensrental.com all the time because you can get really high quality lenses. I can get RE Master Primes. I can get like Tokina Cine Vistas. Like I can get some really
wow.
Absolutely. I can get $100,000 worth of lenses at my door in a day's time. And they completely sent me the wrong lenses, the wrong mount. I can't use any of this. I'm supposed to do camera tests tomorrow with a couple of assistants of mine, and I don't have any lenses I can test. So like I'm going to be going into the film on Friday blind, and I'm going to be shooting it hoping my lenses look the way they should. So Lens Rental, you're kind of causing some additional stress to my weekend, and you're going to get dunked on.
That's a dunk. That is a dunk. That's fair. Yeah. They owe you something. They owe you something for free at least.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's like, and the lenses weren't that far off, but it was clearly like if you if you saw my order, like I can't even put this on my camera. It's
That's crazy.
Oh, that would irk me.
yeah.
Okay.
I'd be so mad.
It's a good one.
I'd be like, you're gonna give me my money back. You're gonna send me a magnet, a T-shirt, a hat. Like we're gonna fix this now. But my dunk today, I got a couple actually, and my first one's gonna be on the Tottenham Hotspurs because you're giving Spurs a bad name. Like you're 1 point away from relegation. You just got destroyed in the Champions League. Like 16 minutes and your keeper gave up 3 goals. Like what are you doing? Like we have
who's their keeper?
The San Antonio Spurs are up here, and the Tottenham might get relegated to Championship League, and we might see Wrexham in the Premier League.
Yeah,
so
which is awesome.
They're supposed to be one of the big 6 in the Premier League, and they're about to get relegated. So dunk on them for giving the Spurs a bad name.
Fair.
And then my major dunk is on Mike DeRosa, who is the manager of the USA baseball team, who doesn't know how the WBC works, which is the World Baseball Classic. And he's like, wait, what? You're talking about runs? Oh, this is important? Wait, we didn't qualify for the knockout round? It's like, dude, you're the manager. Like, you should just know how, like, just the fundamental. Like, now we're looking at the huge front runners.
Starts in 45 minutes. Yeah. Mexico and Italy. Yeah. That determines everything.
It determines everything. And the fact that we were such high favorites to win this whole tournament, and now we may not even get to the knockout round. Like, come on, man. Like, this is bad. This is our game.
No, I think it's actually good. As a half Italian born there, it brings me great joy. It's American arrogance. You're gonna learn your lesson the hard way, DeRosa. Next time, read the book. Yeah. Read the pamphlet they gave you. Don't skim it.
I love Italy. I could live in Italy if I ever wanted.
Exactly. But it's also a funnier story. If the US gets knocked out from their own like inability to have understood the rules, that's kind of hilarious.
Also, what's great about the Italian baseball team is that they have that espresso machine in their dugout, and so when they hit a home run, they're taking shots of espresso. It's great, man. I love it.
It makes me happy because they're like there are I think 3 or 4 actual born in Italy dudes on there, so it's just like it's good. I know it's a good story. Okay, yeah, and actually you reminded me to watch that game because I told my friend I would definitely watch Mexico Italy. So well done.
Yep.
There we go. But also a very worthwhile dunk. And everybody, if you're still in here, if you're still with us after all the Spurs chat, if you're still here with us after all those amazing dunks, we appreciate you. We not only love you, but we love you hard over here. The Baseline Bums, we got a lot of great stuff going on for the rest of the season. Obviously, the Spurs playing amazing basketball. So we have a lot of great stuff to talk about on our post-game episodes. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're subscribed so you can tune into those. But that being said, not only on YouTube, but all the clips on Instagram and TikTok and Apple Podcasts. And we're starting the Discord for Spurs super fans. So make sure you're staying in tune with all of those updates as well. But that being said, we're going to hop off here. And Michelle, we end every episode with a Go Spurs Go. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then Go Spurs Go. Sound good?
Yep.
Let's do it. All right. We're going to end this episode the same way we end all episodes. And 1, 2, 3, go. Spurs, go. Yes.